What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another week of DFS by Cage. This is episode 30, where I'm going to do my six-fighter lineup for Draftkings for UFC Vegas 56, headlined by Jardino Rozenstruik versus Alexander Volkov. As always, we are sponsored by High Tide Herbal. If you don't know who High Tide Herbal is, check out the video right now.
Offering high-quality, sustainable products with all-natural, lab-tested ingredients, it's High Tide Herbal's mission to help others live the longest, healthiest, and most productive lives possible. Their hemp-derived CBD products have a wide variety of uses, from helping sore muscles to skin hydration and minimizing skin irritation. They generate results based on your specific needs. Elevate your lifestyle with the new wave of wellness. Visit hightideherbal.com to learn more.
We're running a promo with High Tide Herbal right now. All you got to do is go to www.hightideherbal.com. Go to checkout when you're done buying whatever you want, and then put in promo code CageMyIQ10 as you see down below to receive 10% off your next purchase. Once again, that's CageMyIQ10 to receive 10% off your next purchase. As always, before we get started with my lineup, we are Cage My IQ. We are on social media. All we ask for you guys to do, if you haven't done so already, is to follow and subscribe to us on Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, and YouTube. We are on YouTube at www.youtube.com/c/CageMyIQ. If you can, please subscribe to the YouTube channel. We are back on the regular Cage My IQ channel. So anybody that's still on the Fighters First Network, please come over to Cage My IQ, subscribe to the page. And for this episode of DFS by Cage, if you can, go down below, smash the like button, and then to the right, leave us a comment. Let me know who you're going to use this Saturday for DFS on DraftKings. And let me know what you think of my lineup, and give me any opinions on who you like and who you don't like. But now let's get started with my lineup. You know how I roll. I do from cheapest to most expensive fighter. Give you guys my lineup first, and then I tell you guys why I'm going with each person on my list. The first person I'm going to be using is newcomer Lucas Almeida. His salary is $7,100. He's going up against Mike Trizano. The next person in my lineup is another newcomer, Askar Mazarov. He's coming in with the nickname No Mercy, and his salary is $7,500. Next person I'm going with is one half of the main event of this fight card, Jardino Rozenstruik, nicknamed Biggie Boy. His salary is $7,600. Then I'm going with, this is one of my favorite picks. I'm going with Jeff Molina, as you see right there, and nicknamed El Jefe. His salary is $9,000. He's going up against Zhalgas Zhumagulov. Next, I'm going with Renat Fakhretdinov. He's a newcomer. Nickname is Gladiator. He's going up against Andreas Michailidis. His salary is $9,200. And lastly, I'm going up with the most expensive person for this week, Erin, nicknamed Cold-Blooded Blanchfield. She is $9,600, and she's going up against JJ Aldridge. That's my six-fighter lineup. We'll start with Lucas Almeida. He's going up against Mike Trizano. He's making his debut. This is a guy that has a lot of potential in DraftKings this week. Mike Trizano is a tough-nosed guy. Is pretty tall. He's known for his low-volume grit. He punches every now and then. He has good calf kicks. He clinches up well. He fights from a distance. He always gets those low-volume victories where he somehow finds a good way to defend anything that his opponent does. But going up against Almeida, who is very high volume, You saw him in the Contender Series in the first round of that fight, in which he did lose by decision. He fell off late. The one knock with him is his cardio in the third round, but all of his fights but that fight ended in the first round by finish. And so he has like a 95% finish rate. He has fast hands, fast movement. He knows how to move his head off the center line. He racks up a lot of volume, and then he has power in his hands. That's a big thing here. I see him coming in this matchup and knocking out Trezano in the first round. Trezano doesn't really get knocked out in fights, but against a guy bricks for hands and Lucas Almeida, I can see Lucas Almeida coming in, just pressuring him, being very aggressive, hitting him in a lot of volume, do a lot of damage early, and then towards the end of the round, I see him finishing him and getting the first round knockout, making a big name for himself in his first fight. So with the first person I got in my lineup, I got Lucas Almeida at the salary of 7,100. The next person, of course, is Askar Mazarov. His nickname is No Mercy, like I said before. He's coming in at 7,500. His opponent is Alonzo Metafield. He's making his debut. If you recognize his name is floated around PFL, Bellator, and now UFC. He's had 4 canceled fights in the past 2 years, but now he's ready to fight. He's good to go for this week against Metafield. We all know Metafield. He has power in his hands. He has a wrestling background. He majority of the time he puts a lot in the first round where he looks for the knockout. The majority of his fights have ended in the first round, but the past couple of fights, he has gone farther in the fights. The last one that he did, he went to the third round. He purposely started out early, light in the first round, didn't do too much so he can preserve his energy, and then he got going in the second and third round and won by decision. But he's going up against a guy in Askar Mazarov who, just like he used to do, he's all about the first round. All of his finishes on the first round, and he has 2 losses in the first round where he's gotten knockout and he's gotten submitted. So this guy's like a first round or bust prospect here. He has knockout power. He has fast hands. He'll come at you. He'll use flying knees. He'll use backhands. He's all about finishing the fight early. He has aggression for days. I see him come in here knowing that Metafield's going to start off slow, and I think he's going to come in there, go guns blazing against Metafield. You're going to see Metafield move around, try and dodge and stall to get the fight to the second round. Because if the fight goes to the second round, it's going to start to go Metafield's way, and then he can kind of use his grappling and his clinching along the cage to start striking and wear down Mazarov. But I see Mazarov coming in there, landing one of those flying knees early, and then just beat up on him, push him on the cage, and then just start swinging those overhand loop power shots on him. I see him connecting on a couple. I see him put him down, and I see him getting that first round knockout, which is going to be good for getting close to 100 plus points in this matchup. I think Mazarov has the potential to be one of the highest pointed fighters in Draftkings this week, and with the price tag of 7,500, I think it's a worthy chance to take on this week for UFC Vegas 56. So once again, I'm going with Askar Mazarov. Moving on to the third fighter in my lineup, I got one half of the main event. I got Jardinho Rozenstruik, aka Biggie Boy. He's $7,600 salary. He's going up against Alexander Volkov. As you see right there, he has rotated wins and losses in the past 5 fights. He lost by knockout to Ngannou. He knocked out Dos Santos in the second round. He lost to Gane by decision. Then he knocked out Sakai in the first round, and then he lost to Curtis Blades by decision in his last fight, where he basically got taken down several times in that fight. Just by going for punches and then tripping, and it got taken down. But in this fight, it's going to be basically power versus skill here, because to me, both guys have power, but I feel like Volkov's power has been diminishing him, and he's starting to get slow. But he has more striking skill in his matchup. He's going to come in, throw a lot of those leg kicks, and look to mix that right hand in over the top of his leg kicks to do a lot of damage to Rozenstruik. But I'm taking Rozenstruik just for the sheer fact that he has that knockout power. He's a passive guy in his fights, but he picks and chooses his shots that throw that overhand shot with like no rhyme or reason to it. He can just back up and throw it with nothing on it, and he'll knock guys out. He has one of the most true power uh, in the UFC, even in the heavyweight division. He doesn't have to try and put any torque on it to get a lot of power on it. He just throws it and he knocks guys out. And I feel like he's going to be able to time it right when Volkov looks to throw that overhand shot. He's going to counter it and then throw his overhand shot. And I see him knocking out Volkov in the second or third round. And with him being 7,600 salary and getting a knockout there, I could see him getting anywhere from uh, 85 to 110 points in this one. It all depends on how many strikes he can connect on before the knockout, and then and with the win in the knockout. I think he'll be a lucrative a guy where he is easily somebody that should be owned and will be optimal in Draftkings this week. So I'm going with Jardinho Rozenstruik at the salary of 7,600. Moving on to the fourth person on my list. This is to me, this is one of my locks of the week. I'll get to the other one with my last pick, but I got El Jefe Jeff Molina. He has a salary of 9,000. He's going up against Zalgas Zimagulov. He's 10-2 with a 123.9 FPPF. He's had 2 fights in the UFC, as you see right there, where he has hit over 100 plus strikes in each fight. With the first one against Erlang, he had over 210. And he had 2 knockdowns in that fight. And then against Daniel Lacorda, he had a KO knockout in the second round. But he had 30 minutes of control time on the mat, and he had 106 strikes. This guy is a boxer, and then, like I said, he has patience in the ring. I mean, in the octagon, he doesn't rush anything. He looks calm and collected when he's throwing. He throws 3, 4, 5 punch combinations. He's very quick. He's very good at get ups from when he's taken down, as you saw in the last fight against Lacerda. And when he decides to, he can throw for power and knock a guy out, just like in that fight. He has very good cardio. You see all the action in that Erlang fight. He poured out a lot of volume and then took a lot of damage in that fight, and he kept on going. He probably could have went for another round or two. And against a guy like Zalgas Zimagulov, who's a little bit on the older side, he has a grappling background and power striking game. You saw him against Cape and was bringing it to Cape. He stunned him. But then as the fight went on, he started to get a little bit tired. I think that's when Molina takes over. I think Molina wins this by a decision. I feel like he pours in a lot of volume. I think he gets anywhere from 150 to 175 in this one. He's going to do a lot of movement, a lot of moving his head, avoiding shots. He's going to take shots too. I think he defends the takedowns very well. I think he gets taken down maybe once out of 3, 4 tries from Zalgas. And I think he's going to be optimal this week with all the striking that he's going to get, because when you get 150, 175, you win by decision, and you do what I just said. That is going to get him close to 100 FPPF for the week. So with the fourth person I'm going with Jeff Molina. Salary $9,000. He's gonna keep that streak alive and get over 100 fantasy points in DraftKings. The fifth person in my lineup is yet another newcomer. That's the theme of the week. We got Renat Fakhretdinov, who is aka the Gladiator. He has a 9,200 salary. He's going up against Andreas Michailidis. And this is going to be a fun matchup. Both guys have grappling backgrounds. Michailidis is more of a wrestling based background, but he does a lot more with his kickboxing. You saw him in his last fight where he lost by a second round knockout to Alex Ferrer, who is a kickboxing beast, who's going to have a big time fight coming up. But in this fight, he's going to be more of a patient fighter against Fakhretdinov, where he's going to pick and choose his spots from kickboxing distance. He's going to try to win by a decision where he does just enough to get that. And the reason is because the guy picking Fakhretdinov has that sambo style wrestling background. He's used it a lot. I think it's more so he uses more so the wrestling pedigree style of it. He does a little bit of both, but he uses that in his early times to get the fight to the ground and to do a lot of ground and pound and get a couple of finishes in his career. But lately, he's kind of embraced the the fan side of things, where he wants to put on a show for the fans. So he looks to get that big time early knockout. So he's been throwing a lot of those looping overhand shots where he fakes going for the takedown and then he goes and throws the overhand shot and he looks to get the knockout. He has good cardio. He's had quite a few finishes by knockout. In his last one, he knocked out Eric Spicely, who is a former UFC veteran, a guy who is very tough, has a good chin, that has never been knocked out like that. And Renat Fakhretdinov knocked him out in the first round, only a couple minutes in. And Dana White was looking at Spicely and then wound up signing Fakhretdinov. So I feel like Fakhretdinov's going to come in. He's going to pressure forward on Michailidis. He's going to fake the transitions to the takedown, and he's going to throw those overhand shots on Michailidis. With Michailidis not being the best at defending the strikes to the head, I could see Fakhretdinov connecting on a couple shots, stunning him, and then taking him down to the mat, and then finishes him via ground and pound, which is going to be really good for DraftKings this week. It could be a first round or a second round ground and pound KO, but with the fifth person, I'm going with Renat Fakhretdinov at 9,200. Like I said before, whether it's the first or second, that's going to make a difference at how many points he gets. But he's going to be worth the chance on this week, especially with the high salary. Even though he's coming in the debut, I just like what he does. He has a good fight game, and he has a good matchup this week against Michailidis. Moving on to the last person in my lineup. This is my true lock of the week. We got Erin Cold-Blooded Blanchfield. She comes in at $9,600 salary. She's fighting JJ Aldridge, as you see right there. She's fought twice in the UFC. She's 8-1 with a 120.5 FPPF. In her first fight against Sarah Alper, she had over 120 significant strikes. She took her down 3 times. She had 10 minutes of control time, and she got the decision victory. Then last fight against top 15 fighter Miranda Maverick, she fought to the decision again. She had 50 significant strikes, 12 minutes of control time. She had 7 takedowns, and in both fights, she had over 100 plus fantasy points. Against a striker like Aldridge is more so of a low volume, patient fighter who throws 1 to 2 strike combinations, but she takes her time. She throws, looks, waits for a time, and then throws again. She's going to get no more than 20, 30, maybe 40 strikes in a fight, usually. And then she's been mixing in a couple of takedowns but I think that's going to be non-existent in this fight because Erin Blanchfield has a high level grappling background here, and just like you saw before, she usually dominates the control time in fights. She usually has 3 to 4 minutes of control time in each round. She has really good hands. She has a really good transition. She's tall. She's tall, and she has a high upside. Where I see her being a future champion in the division. I see her going to decision again because it seems like she hasn't had luck in the finish via submission or knockout. I see her getting anywhere from 100 to 120 strikes, which a combination of just significant strikes and ground and pound strikes. I see her taking down Aldridge 3 to 4 times, and then doing her usual 9 to 10 minutes of control time on the mat. So she's going to get anywhere to me from 100 to 120 points fantasy wise, and she's going to be optimal, which she should be at the $9,600 salary. But you have to lock her in your lineup. Make sure you play her because if you don't, you're going to regret doing so because this is a very favorable matchup for her. I feel like Miranda Maverick is better than JJ Aldridge in all aspect of the game. And if Blanchfield can take Maverick down 7 times and rack up over 50 to 80 strikes in that fight, then she can do just about the same, if not more, against JJ Aldridge, who won't be able to mix and match her striking and grappling against the beast that is known as Erin Blanchfield. So, with the last person in my lineup, I'm going with Erin Cold-Blooded Blanchfield with the salary of 9,600. Once again, I'm playing Lucas Almeida, 7,100. Askar Mazarov, 7,500. Zardinho Rozenstruik, 7,600. Jeff Molina, 9,000. Renat Fakhretdinov, 9,200. And Erin Blanchfield, 9,600. That is my 6-fighter lineup for UFC Vegas 56. I will be back next week to give you guys my DraftKings lineup for UFC 275 for DFS by Cage episode 31. But before I get going, as always, this is Cage My IQ. All I ask for you guys to do is to follow and subscribe to us on Twitter, Instagram, also Twitch, and the YouTube channel for Cage My IQ. And then also make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell for the YouTube page. And please, for this DFS by Cage episode, smash the like button down below and hit us up in the comment section to the right. I want to get your guys' opinions. I want everybody to comment on this video. I'd like to see all the different lineups that are being used. I may be going with a couple other lineups, but this is my primary lineup for this Saturday. But other than that, that'll wrap things up for today's show. Thank you guys for stopping by and checking out my DFS lineup and for checking out all the content here at Cage My IQ. But other than that, I will see you guys next time. Thanks for tuning in. See you guys later.